hug, and we will be getting started.
All right. Survive. How are you? Not get Gerald.
You got the bump now.
Hey.
You heard him.
I
He told me to do
right?
it. You know better, right?
Yeah, you better not do that to me. All right.
Some other people I'd like to do it to.
Well,
I'm not that way.
that's not me.
I sent you a text a week ago. Asking if you want to have coffee. If you don't mind sending me a text over, just
Seats, welcome to Open Arms. It's exciting to have you
That might be too.
here. I know I say exciting a lot because I'm excitable. Or just I'm excited. So, welcome to Open Arms. If you don't know who I am, I'm Pastor Matt. It's wonderful to have you here. Someone hopefully handed you a worship folder, and on the back of it, you're going to see the DNA of Open Arms. So it has our purpose, vision, mission, and value statements, and it also has our 8 core principles. And so check those out because this is the DNA of Open Arms. This is why we do, how we do, what we do, and everything that we do is filtered through those core values. In your seat, you're going to see the connection card, and I just want to really, I want to take a time to plug into this because if I don't, my life may be in danger. So, connection cards are important. So this is how we get connected to you, but also, so you might find yourself like, if you fill out a connection card and return it at the end of service, then our wonderful connections coordinator goes, oh, they were there. Someone probably hit up with them. If no one did touch base with you, then you can write on your connection card, no one spoke to me. And you know what I mean? So, but fill this out, and more importantly, we want to know how we can be praying for you. Life's tough. We want to know how we can be reaching out to you. So fill that out on the back in that big white box. Turn it in at the end of service. My life will be greatly pleased by this because my connections coordinator won't crucify me. I'm just joking around. She's not that bad. Stavish is sitting behind again. You know what I'm talking about. You know it. All right. So, a couple of other things that we have going on. We've got a lot of exciting stuff going on. But so, if you are a football fan, woo, yeah, I know. We're like, let's root against the Patriots. Right? Okay. We are doing the big game party tonight. So 5 o'clock the doors open, 5:30 the wings will be here, 6 o'clock game kicks off, and we got a bunch of prizes that we're giving away during this time. So come on out. If you are a wing sauce connoisseur, make your wing sauce, right? And so please, please, please invite friends, invite everyone, because 600 wings do not keep this girlish figure, okay? Hey, I'm Kirby. I own it. All right? But I'm not going to keep this girlish figure. So I need you guys to come out and help me keep those 600 wings. So a couple other things happening tonight. Growth groups, not tonight. Growth groups are happening, are starting in a week. There's still time to sign up. There's even a little bit of time after they start if you still want to get into it. And I can't stress it enough. I'll pull the book out later. Because this entire series, Mind Control, it was stemmed from this book, How to Switch on Your Brain. So we branded it Mind Control because we want people to go, what? Church is trying to control people's minds. No. Right? We want people to think that. We want people like, what is going on there? I'm going to show up. I'm going to find out. And in reality, it's about us controlling our minds. It's about us taking control of our mind. And so I'm excited about this series. I can't wait to see what God's going to do through it. And there's also the growth groups are going to Switch on Your Brain, and we're giving away a copy of the book to the family if you join a growth group. So it's huge. It's amazing. I can't wait for it. So third, we are collecting coats for a coat drive ministry that we do. And so if you have coats, you have boots, anything like that are in good condition, you can write in your connection card. We'll get in touch with you. We'll get you hooked up, and we'll get those in. And then they'll be distributing. I think they're shooting for larger distribution somewhere down the road, but it's as needed as it comes along. And last but not least, production volunteers needed and children's volunteers. So I totally forgot this first service. It was amazing. Not really. I was just scatterbrained first service, to be truthful. So everything that you see happening, I want to just take a moment and I want to, if you serve on a team, raise your hand. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I love you guys. And so these are the people that are making this happen. Okay, so these guys right here, they got together, they worked, and they use their talents. And people think like, oh, a musician just gets behind it. Well, Stavish does. That's because Stavish has been playing for years. Okay, he's amazing, beautiful specimen of a man. But I just love that riff. But you know what else is important? So you guys like to sing along, right? The slides that are made. Okay? It takes someone taking the time to put that into place. Okay? You guys enjoy a semi-quiet service sometimes when I'm not going off the deep end. Why? That's because our children are also engaging Jesus in the next room. And that's because people have taken days and they said, I'm going to serve the children's. If y'all know my kids, y'all don't take that up. That's like battle. That's like enlistment.
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to war.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is really great. Yes. So, Alicia, you're not selling. No, and I want to say this. So, with this recent change, Alicia did an amazing job putting things together, making so thank you. And I'm excited about what Renee is going to do as she picks up that mantle and she continues this legacy. Because children's isn't something that's scary, okay? It's super simple. You might think I can't teach, but I can't stand kids. Don't worry, we got you covered. We've got babies. Babies are so nice. I've got the best babies ever, okay? They're going there, you just sit there, aw. But we also need Connect Kids. And the important thing about this is we're going to learn about mind control today. And we learn about toxic habits that we think about. How about we fix them now rather than now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys get what I'm saying? How about we implement them there rather than trying to implement them here? Because I know, you know what? I heard it a lot. I look back and I heard it a lot and I didn't apply it. I didn't have a real thing to it. And your testimony, your action might be that thing that can connect one of these kids with Jesus, that can change their life, and they don't have to continue the cycle. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm starting to preach already, and I've still got 3 more songs to go. You're rubbing off on me. So let's pray. Let's just pray for this service. Father, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for just the promises. I want to thank you for what you do in our lives. Man, I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up about this series and what it's going to do in our lives. And God, I just pray that you will open our hearts, you'll open our minds to let us receive it, that you will help us to pick up this mantle of service to make change in our lives, to make positive change for those around us. God, I just pray that you will move powerfully today. In your name I pray, amen and amen. You go ahead, you can stand if you're not. So me and Stavish had a chat beforehand, and we were just kind of talking. And this is a song that it's super simple. How simple is it? Well, it's control based, and you have your song. But it's a powerhouse. It's true. And if you're a friend of Ariel or Chris, you might have seen the Stavish clan singing this song. It's called Surrounded, and it goes like this. I'm going to teach it to you so that way you guys know it. Super simple. So this is how I fight my battles. And this is how I fight my battles. And you're going to say that a couple of times, and then you're going to come into it may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. And the importance of this song is like, this is how we should fight our battles, right? We're talking about mind control. We're talking about changing our perspective. We're talking about choosing life. How often do we can start tapping ourselves with a song and we can be like, oh, it's on. Like the Cotton Eye Joe doesn't come on and people are like, you know what I mean? So this is a song that's rinse, wash, repeat, but just get lost in it because no matter what's going on, no matter what's coming at you, no matter what's surrounding you, it may look like you're surrounded, but you're surrounded by yourself. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. Go ahead and be seated and turn your attention to the screen and we'll get the bumper video going. Whoa, that was cool. There was like decorative piano. All right, lights, camera, and action. Here we go. Stavis, I love you. I only get to see him like once a month, so I got to give him some love like when I see him. We were just talking about getting our plans together.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So if you don't know, so let me just give you a quick fun recap. So we're talking about mind control, and I can work this in. Then again, God's given me the ability that I can preach just about anything and work it in. And so I've got 5 beautiful, wonderful children. In case you're wondering, no, I didn't plan on 5 beautiful and wonderful children. God gave me 5 beautiful, wonderful children. I just so happened to luck out. And so Stavish and Ariel, Chris and Ariel, found themselves with 4 beautiful and wonderful children. And like Ariel sometimes, if you've ever had 2 kids in your house, multiply that chaos and just forget about any control that you have over the situation. Just forget about it. Because you got 2 wives, you can barely keep track of 2 kids. And I gave my mom a run for money and put 4 kids together and not have a Veda, which is what we have, which is my oldest, and you're just mixing up destruction. So Veda's right now away at Winter Fest. I was thinking Winter Jam. I was like, that's not right. It's not Winter Jam, it's Winter Fest. And so she wasn't here to help, and so you can feel that struggle. I didn't feel that struggle. My mother-in-law felt that struggle. So thank you, I love you. So let's get into this. Let's jump into mind control, part 1. And I can't stress it enough. It's amazing. So if you haven't signed up for a growth group, here's your book, the book that you'll be going through, and it's amazing, and I can't wait to see what God's doing. Like I said, we're so believing the power of God that it's going to transform lives, that we're making the investment. We bought a bunch of books so that everyone in the growth group can have a book. You know, like if you sign up for a growth group, we want to get you a book. It's that simple. We're giving you a book so that you can go through this study and be transformed. And so, for just a moment, we're going to open this up, and we're going to take a moment. And so, we're going to take the world, we're going to set it to the side for just a moment, okay? Because I want to do something that's fun. So, as Christians, we believe that Jesus came to provide life to the full, right? So, as a Christ follower, as a Christian, you should be in this thing of, you should be believing in the resurrection, you should be believing in the power and the authority of the Word of God, right? Okay, gives us much equal ground. Okay, I don't stand up here and make a message and go, wow, man, that was a really insightful thing. You're really connecting people to God. No, I run to Scripture and I go, okay, this is what God stated and what He did and what He showed out and He poured out, and that's the connecting piece. I'm not God, He is. Okay? And so as Christians, we believe that Jesus came to provide life to the full, but sadly, most people, including Christians, are not. So now let's bring the world back in. So according to research, 75 to 98%. You guys get that? 75 to 98% of our physical, mental, and emotional health problems are a direct result of our thought life.
Amen.
Of what we think and how we think it. Let's take this a step further, right? So I made the joke about 600 chicken wings, keeping my girlish figure. 90% of serotonin is produced in your gut, in your stomach. 50% of your dopamine is produced in your gut, in your stomach. These are two key chemicals in your mental wellness, your physical wellness, and yet look at all the garbage that we put ourselves through, that we put into ourselves. Let's move on. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, December 21st, 2016, faith lived out as religion or spirituality, and in these facets can have a large positive impact on mental health. Research suggests that religiosity reduces suicide rates, alcoholism, and drug use. December 18th, 2017, an article in Psychology Today said the amassed research indicates that higher levels of religious belief and practice, known in social science as religiosity, is associated with better mental health. In particular, this research suggests that higher levels of religiosity, of practice, of religious belief, and acting it out, are associated with lower rates of depression, anxiety, substance use, disorder, and suicidal behavior. Religiosity is also associated with better physical health and subjective well-being. Likewise, research indicates that religiosity can enhance recovery from mental illness, aiding the healing process. Do you get that? Psychologists and people of the world are saying that being connected, being in a group, being a part of this, of what God's doing, increases their health. Not just their physical health, but their mental health. Another point, the medical community. Okay, the medical community all agree that psychotropic, antidepressants, and antipsychotic meds do not heal anything. And according to the National Center for Health Statistics, 13% of Americans use antidepressants. It's a whole lot of Prozac. Let's move on. This is just an addition. So yet, according to the 2013 Medical Expenditure Panel Survey, it estimated that 16.7% of the 242 million adults in the United States use psychotropic medication. That's approximately 42 million people. And of the people struggling with depression and other mental illnesses and issues that receive medical help, 84.3% are classified as long-term users. That means it's not just a winter blues spell. Take it every day, rest of your life. Is that what we're meant for? So knowing all the information that I just shared, the overwhelming majority of people looking for help are being prescribed psychotropic medication and things to put a Band-Aid on it and not heal it. Whereas the medical community also said that being a part of this change of repentance, of choosing better, caused differences. And instead of being taught to control their mind, their thought life, and also their diet, right? Because your diet's important too. Here, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. You know, I find it weird. I sit back and I scratch my head. Now, I do want to put this stipend into it. Full disclosure, I am not a medical doctor. I really did not just spend time in looking at it. Okay, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not any of those really raised up. I'm just a guy that looks at the word and looks at trends and goes, I'm not a mental health professional. But what I do know is this series will be based on medical science is discovering that God has always been communicating about the importance and the role of our thought life in controlling our mind. And that's happening in this book. So this was kind of our springboard, if you will. If you haven't read Carolyn Leigh, I hear it's better than listening to her. She talks at about 15 words per minute, and she has a thick Irish accent. So you've got a lot of words coming out. So you can read the book. Join a growth group. But the big thing behind this is, so Carolyn Leaf has been a doctor in her field for 30 years. She's been studying the brain. And Carolyn, so if you get in, when you get into it, I'm going to speak truth. When you get into a growth group and you get your hands on one of these books, you're going to read about how Carolyn chose to take the people that were saw as not worth it, right? So in the medical field, just like any other field, you want a win rate, right? So if you're a lawyer that's lost all of his cases, people might not choose you to represent them. You get what I mean? So if you're a doctor and you are doing a study on someone about brain activity and you don't have any improvement, people aren't going to believe you. Okay, if you're a carpenter and you build circle rooms that are square, you're in trouble. Okay? You just don't have a lot of things going for you. But we're going to kick off with this, and we're going to start here. And it's a really fun point. It says, let me find it here. There it is. Your body is not in control of your mind. Your mind is in control of your body. And your mind is stronger than your body. Mind certainly is over matter. Okay, so get that. So mind, your body is not in control of your mind is in control of your body, and your mind is stronger than your body. And so we're going to unpack that today. We're going to talk about it because this is about a choice. And so I want to share a quick story about this time before I ever had an encounter with Jesus. This was a long time ago. And I found myself in a parking lot, and I had a gentleman that wanted to punch me in the mouth. Fully deserving to be punched in the mouth. Just giving you that disclosure. I deserve to get hit in the mouth in this scenario. But I was getting ready to go into work, and so he gets out of the vehicle and he says, I'm going to hit you, and then he hits me, and I'm like, dude, I got to go to work. Inside, I'm like, oh! Toe hits me. And I'm like, dude, I got to go to work. And then he talks a little bit more, when he screams a little bit more, and then the second punch lands. And like my blood is boiling, right? We all know those people are like, ugh! You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this guy just hit me in the mouth twice, and I could like just jump on him and it'd be done. I've never been in a fight before, but I just know that it doesn't bode well if I get hit twice and still stand there and say I gotta go to work for his odds. But in the back of me, this is before Christ, before this change, before the encounter, I'm like, I gotta go to work. Like, I don't want to lose my job. I'm 6 months into this job. It's a really good job. I'm like, I'm gonna lose it over this guy punching me in the mouth? Really? And I made a choice when everything in me wanted to jump up. So, from that, I want to transfer it to you. How many of you have ever thought or felt something, but you chose not to act? How many of you had those feelings of like, let's simplify it. How many of you have looked at the pizza and said, I don't need that pizza? I have not. Just saying. But many of you make much better choices than I do. I might run this, like, this is just so much, such a great, I'm not against health. I've got to put that up there. I'm not against health. My staff is very healthy. They make me eat healthy. Do not eat soy protein hot dogs. Meatless hot dogs. Never, ever in my life. No, they weren't that bad.
The girl said.
Okay. So coming back in, how many of you ever thought and felt something, but you chose different, right? So this is so important to understand because there is this debate in what is in charge, right? There's a debate in the science community that your brain is this machine and it just runs and it goes. And it's that your mind is not your brain. Your mind controls your brain. That's the thought that we're arguing. But the science community, there's half of them that think that the brain is this engine, it's just firing, and it's running, and it's going, and that's all that it is. Everything that you are was programmed in. You can't be better than what you were programmed to do, and that's as good as it gets. Whereas we like to think that, I like to think, I won't put you guys in that, I like to think, it's more like this really complex, amazing thing, like Play-Doh. Finally someone laughed at it. Y'all play with Play-Doh. You love Play-Doh. Play-Doh is malleable. It's constantly. And that's what we're coming at. We're coming to this place that God made us to be able to make choices, right? If I were an engine of creation and my life was to do, okay? If you look in the anywhere else, what happens when you're threatened? You fight or you fly. Well, I didn't run away. I calmly said to the gentleman, dude, I gotta go to work. I can't do this. He was not happy with that. If my brain was an engine that was running and firing and it was doing what it was meant to do, I would have jumped on this kid or I would have ran away. Instead, I made a choice. I had a free will choice. And so that's where we come to this first feeling. Your mind is the source of intellect, emotion, free will, and controls your brain, the organ of your flesh. So your mind is the source of intellect, emotion, free will, and controls your brain, the organ of flesh. So your brain is being controlled by your mind. Okay? It's really important that you understand this. Because if you think that it's the other way around, that the brain's just this engine that's firing, then all you're ever going to be has already been decided. And that's it. You can just keep doing the same thing. If I were to push you 100 times, I would get the same reaction every time. Why? Because the brain is an engine and it fires the same response off. Eventually, we know someone's going to punch me. And I know that if I push over 100 times. Our brain activity is the product of our minds, the product of our thoughts, our feelings, and choices, and biological responses to natural stimulus. So as we're out and about, we're having all of these things that are happening to us, that are coming at us that we don't have any control over, okay? The sunshine, or it's raining, or you slip in the mud, you know what I mean? It's cold and you freeze. All of these things are happening outside of our body, and our brain is firing synapses, and our mind is choosing how to act in those. And then it tells the brain says, okay, put your foot up, go take a step, or think this, say this. And it's vital that you understand that you have free will and the freedom of choice. It's also vital to understand that because you have free will, you have the choice. God gave it to you. And you can pervert it, and you can change it, and you can twist it. The biggest question, how can a loving God send someone to hell? Right? Comes up every now and then. How can a God who loves let someone do that? How didn't they choose? Why didn't they see? We can pervert it. We can twist it. And there's this huge spiritual warfare that's happening alongside of it that's playing in. And if you look at it, this is me as a person making an observation and an opinion. It seems like a win. When you have 80 to 98% of people, because of their thought life, So I just want to further come back to this, bring it back around. Your thought life, you have the free will choice to choose your life. You have the free will to choose who you are going to be and what God's going to do in your life. And the reason is that we've all felt and desired one thing and knowingly, purposely chose to do the opposite. The body may urge us to do something, but we can choose to go the other way. We can have emotion, we can have these feelings to say, no, I'm going to do this, rather than X. And so what you feel and how you feel are not you, and they don't have to control you. Okay? Your feelings don't have to control you. It doesn't define who you are. who you are defines who you are. The feelings just come around. Your feelings can justify it. Your feelings can feel like take it away. And so with all of this going on, like, have you ever felt the why blues? So the why blues are like, why? What's the purpose? What's the point? Why do I keep doing this? You maybe have been in your job for like 5 years and you're like, what's the point? Right? And the big thing is like some of us will go and we'll seek medication. We'll go and instead, some of us might go introspective. So I just had a bout with the why blues. Why? Well, we came out of 2018. We had this amazing blow up. And here we are. And we're still riding the wave. We're still running after it. We're going, what in the world is God going to do? And so throughout December and half of January, I was like, why? What's the point? I don't ever want to be the pastor of a church that says, oh, we're so nice and come on Sunday morning and sit down and just have a wonderful time. Oh, did you guys get coffee today? No. I want the most broken, screwed up, messed up people to walk into this building, to have an encounter with Christ like I did. And to walk out into the community and start making change. And people in the community be like, do you see him? We know him. That's not him. What happened? What you feel and how you feel are not you. They don't have to control you. So I went through the why blues. I was like, okay, God, why? What's the purpose? What are we going to do in 2019? How are we going to do this? How are we going to make this? What is your plan? What is your purpose? I didn't sit back and go, I'm just not going to pastor anymore. I'm just going to put it all up on the shelf. What? God called me to do something. It's time to roll up your sleeves when it gets dirty and it gets tough. You do it and you get through it. I know who I am. I know what God called me to do. Why blues are just a thing that the flesh fights with. And so they're like gauges on a dashboard. But Romans 8:5-8 takes us through. Our feelings tell us what's going on, but it doesn't tell us how the engine's running or, it doesn't tell us that it doesn't stop the engine from running. Thought escaped me and just ran away. So let's jump into Romans 8:5-8. Those who live according to the flesh have their minds set on what the flesh desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. The mind governed by the flesh is hostile to God. It does not submit to God's law, nor can it do so. Those who are in the realm of the flesh cannot please God. And so it brings us to this pivotal question today. What is your mindset? What's your mindset? Is your mind set on the things of flesh, which are going to lead to death? Is your mindset, I got to run this race, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and you're never slowing down, and you're never taking the time to connect in, and you're becoming a product of what the world wants you to be? Or is your mind focusing on the Spirit? Is your mind focusing on this relationship versus this relationship? Because this relationship is the most important one in the world. To have a relationship with God is more important than everything else. Yes, I mean it. To have a relationship with God is more important than my wife. It's more important than my kids. Why? Because God tells me how to interact with my wife and my kids. You don't put the buggy in front of the horse and go, okay, take off. You let God sort it out and figure it out. You choose the Spirit. So it brings us to this next one. Your mindset will determine your mindset determines your life experiences. Your mindset determines your life experiences. Whatever governs your mind dictates the trajectory of your life. Okay? We were just talking about Medicare and just like retirement. I don't see retirement in my future, to be honest with you. I don't. I just don't. I'm hoping that God gives me the strength to just dig a hole and roll into it. That's my hope. I know it won't happen that way, but like, when I choose my mindset, it dictates the trajectory, right? We get so focused on the end game. We get so focused on just running this race and doing it. And it's so funny, this is what's coming to my head is, so a lot of Christians focus on the rapture, but they don't ever focus on the people that are around them. I'm not saying that it's not bad to know about the rapture. It's not bad to know about when he's coming again. I'm saying don't lose sight of what he said. Be mindful of him. Please don't pick a day, because then you ruin that day for him to come back. I'm serious. He said he'd come to the thief in the night. But when you're focused here and you're like, okay, God's coming tomorrow, he's coming the next day, you often lose sight of here, of the people that need change here and they need Christ right here. And so your mindset is going to govern your trajectory that your life takes. And as you choose a mindset, your mind will be set on the control of your life, so you must control your mindset. So as you're choosing your mindset, you have to understand that whatever you choose, whatever mindset you put on it, my mindset's on the flesh or my mindset's on the spirit, whatever you choose, it's going to drive you in the trajectory that is either focused around you or is focused around God. Your mindset you choose is your attitude. And Dr. Leaf, quote from Dr. Leaf says, "It is your attitude and not your DNA that determines much of your quality of life." It is your attitude, not your DNA, that determines the quality of your life. Because your attitude is your state of mind. If the attitude is your state of mind, how many of us have woken up and been hangry? How many of us have went through the day and been hangry? Okay? When that happens to me, I go into the kitchen and I make some bacon and eggs and I give it to my wife and, whatever she needs. You can tell. I just made her bacon and eggs this week, so. But your attitude is your state of mind. It's based on what you choose and you set your mind on. So you're responsible to choose your mindset that will rule and control your life, right? So if you're hangry, okay, you're going to choose how you speak and how you act towards other people. And everything that you do, we've got to take responsibility for our thought life, or we're going to stay a victim to it. We're going to be like, well, we're going to show up and we're going to be so hangry because we didn't eat breakfast or we didn't have lunch yet, and we're going to walk into a meeting and we're going to be like, oh, this is so frustrating! And someone just like, you're not cool when you don't have a Snickers bar. Right? Dude, I could like go to work for the Super Bowl ads, like, I got this. No. I can't wait for the ads tonight. But really, right? We literally walked into the scenario knowing that we're hungry, knowing that we're hangry, and we're getting ready to, just have it out. And all you had to do was have some sort of snack. Every moment you are choosing to define your life, yourself and your life, by the Spirit or by the flesh. Neither your DNA nor your circumstances define you as a victim. Rather, you are defining yourself as victim or victor. You are defining yourself as victim or victor. What do I mean by that? You do not control the circumstances of your life, but you are always in control of your mind, your reactions, and your responses. What does that mean? Okay? 3 days ago, the weather was absolutely frigid, miserable. Can any of you change that? No. No, you could not. So what did you choose to do? You chose to stay inside, I hope. Or you chose to bundle up. You chose to do all of these things. But it's still going to be cold outside. Don't let it affect your attitude. This comes into the hangry as well. You don't control the circumstances of your life, but you always control your mind, your reaction, your response. If you're hangry because you didn't choose to eat, that doesn't mean that any of someone else that you're interacting with deserves to be just kind of spewed on it. You know what I mean? If you've got a lead foot, know your passing zones. You are in control of how you react. And you have to take responsibility. I stood in the parking lot and I got hit in the mouth twice. And my choice was to go to work. You have the ability to choose. Circumstances do not define you. You define you. So a fun story that I want to go into on this is there was a rower. So we went to Live the Lead conference and we saw these wonderful just teachings on leadership and stories and inspiration. And I can't remember her name, but she was a rower. So she rowed your boat. She rowed from Spain, I believe it was, to Aruba. So she rowed from Europe across the Atlantic in a little two-man rowboat to the Caribbean. And she was on sea for 111 days. The interesting thing about this lady is she's never rowed a day in her life. Her husband was part of the rowing team, so she's like, yeah, we got a shot. We can do this in like 3 weeks. And 2 weeks into it, her husband realized that he didn't like the waves. And there's a lot of waves out there. And he tapped out. And now she had the choice. Do I choose to continue this race? Do I choose to see this through? Or do I give up right now? And she chose to see it through. She's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean by herself on a rowboat. Rowing across the Atlantic. It took her 111 days, so that's about 100 days, right?